Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you've ever found yourself totally stuck trying to piece together a question in English, or maybe you just want to understand the exact mechanics of how native speakers seamlessly extract information from each other, well, you are in the perfect place. Today we're exploring the exciting and honestly super colorful world of English question words. These little guys are absolutely crucial. They're the literal building blocks of conversation. Think about it. Without them, we can't be curious, we can't learn about our surroundings, and we definitely can't solve any mysteries. So we're going to break down exactly how they work step by step, and we're going to use a highly structured visual approach to make it super easy. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Think of this as our question quest menu for the day. We've got a vibrant stack of words here. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Now, each of these words is essentially a specialized key, and it's specifically designed to unlock a very particular type of information. If you try to use the wrong key, well, the door to the answer simply isn't going to open. So today, we're going to master exactly which key to use and when by looking at some real-life, relatable scenarios.
Right, let's kick things off with our very first scenario. Just picture walking into a bright, welcoming classroom where a really simple statement is written up on the board: Mr. Slim is our teacher. Take a second to just absorb that. It's a simple, declarative sentence, right? It's giving us a crystal clear piece of factual information about a very specific individual.
Now here's where it gets cool, because we can completely reverse engineer that statement. If we walked in and didn't actually know the teacher's name, we'd have to extract that missing puzzle piece. Notice how the name Mr. Slim vanishes from the sentence, and in its exact grammatical place, we substitute the word who. So the statement, Mr. Slim is our teacher, completely transforms into the question, who is Mr. Slim?
And boom, that brings us to our very first golden rule. Who is the word we use to ask about a person. It's that simple. Whenever your missing piece of information is a human being, their identity, their name, their specific role, who is absolutely your essential go-to tool. It is exclusively reserved for people.
Okay, let's move on to puzzle number 2. Picture this, a cheerful girl sitting comfortably with a book in her hands. The text tells us exactly what's happening here. Helen is reading a short story. Now we know who is acting, that's Helen. But let's pretend for just a second that we can see she's holding something, but we just can't quite make out the title or the format of what she's actually engaging with.
To figure that out, the object of her attention, the short story, is completely swapped out. And in its place, we drop in our next really powerful word, what. By placing what right at the front, we create the perfect inquiry. What is Helen reading? The overall structure of the sentence stays beautifully consistent, but the target of our curiosity has totally changed.
So the really crucial takeaway here is that what is your ultimate question word for things and objects. If the answer you're hunting for is an item, an idea, a concept, or a physical object like a book, what is the key that opens that specific door? It removes the human element entirely and focuses squarely on the thing in question.
Awesome. All right, let's step into our third scenario, a boy enjoying his meal. The sentence reads, he has breakfast in the morning. Now, I really want you to pay special attention to the last part of that sentence. It doesn't just tell us what he's doing. It gives us a very specific condition surrounding the event, the actual time of day. If we were to just cover up that time of day, how do we ask for it back? Well, the phrase in the morning disappears entirely, and we lead our new sentence with the word when. When does he have breakfast? Notice how the sentence naturally reorganizes itself to accommodate this brand new request for temporal information.
Let's lock in the rule for this one. When is used to ask about time. Whether you need a highly specific hour on a clock, a day of the week, a month, or even just a general time frame like the morning, when is the exact word you deploy. Think of it as your temporal compass in the English language.
Shifting gears a bit, let's look at a scenario involving movement and destination. My mother is going to the market. Now we have the person, we have the action, but crucially here we have the location. That colorful market is the final endpoint of her journey.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next tool. When we don't know that destination, we just substitute the word market for the word where. So the question becomes, where is your mother going? It's a really direct, elegant swap that instantly signals to whoever is listening that you need spatial coordinates. Make sure you really lock this connection into your memory. Where is strictly used to ask about a place. It could be a market, a country, a hidden room, or literally a spot on a map. If it involves a location, where is the question word that always gets the job done.
Okay, now let's introduce a slightly more abstract concept. Imagine Sue, deeply focused at her desk. This sentence simply reads, Sue works hard. Now, this isn't about an object, a time, or a place. This is actually an evaluation of her effort. It describes the very specific way in which she performs her job.
If we want to uncover that excellent work ethic without actually knowing it beforehand, we use our next question word. We replace the descriptive word hard with how, creating the question, how does Sue work? You can really see how this word is uniquely equipped to ask about the condition or the style of an action. So, just as you'd probably suspect, how is used to ask about manner. It answers the question of the process, the method, or the way in which something occurs. If you want the instructions, the feelings, or the core methodology behind an action, you are always going to lead with how.
All right, we have one final piece to our primary puzzle here, and it involves looking just a bit deeper. Consider this statement: she ate only apples because she was on a diet. This is definitely a longer sentence, and that's because it's giving us an action, eating apples, followed immediately by the deep underlying motivation for that action.
Let's see exactly how this builds our final question structure. That entire explanatory phrase, because she was on a diet, is our target. To get that rich, motivational information, we replace the entire because clause with the word why. The crisp, resulting question is simply, why did she eat only apples?
Let's lock this last one in securely. Why is the absolute key to understanding cause or reason? Honestly, it's the favorite question word of scientists, investigators, and curious learners everywhere, mostly because it goes way beyond the surface facts and asks for the deeper logic behind an event.
Wow, you guys have done fantastic work staying focused through all of these scenarios. Now, take a look at this. We've reached the ultimate summary table. This perfectly maps our concrete answers to the precise questions required to get them. We have Mr. Slim mapping to who, Helen's short story mapping to what, and the morning breakfast tying to when. Then we see the market linking to where, Sue's hard work connecting to how, and finally, the apple diet matching perfectly with why. Seriously, this right here is your ultimate screenshot-worthy cheat sheet. If you ever get confused about which word to use, just visualize this exact layout. See how the WH words perfectly align with the specific type of information they are engineered to retrieve? Taking a mental picture of this alignment or an actual screenshot is going to save you countless times in real-world English conversations.
And with that, a massive congratulations to you. You now know your fundamental question words inside and out. You've just mastered one of the most critical structural elements of the entire English language. By understanding not just the words themselves, but the precise logic of how they substitute for specific types of information, your ability to communicate, connect, and learn is going to absolutely skyrocket.
But hey, before we completely wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a quick little challenge to test your active learning. Listen to this statement. I am happy. Think carefully about the rules we just covered. Which specific question word do you use to ask me about my happiness? Is it a thing, a time, a place, or perhaps a manner or condition? Ponder that, keep your curiosity sparked, and I will see you in the next explainer.